and a software developer based in Summerside is expanding into Israel. That means some unique challenges. For one thing, Hebrew is read from right to left, even on a computer screen. Then there was the task of finding somebody on P.E.I. who was actually fluent in Hebrew. Nancy Russell dropped into RadNet's offices at the Holman Center in Summerside to find out more about the company's latest international expansion.
Ayelet Stewart sits in front of two monitors here in the open space offices of RadNet. Around her are the company's team of software developers. The core members of this group have been working together for more than 15 years, since they came to Summerside to work at the GST Center.
This is the radiologist screen.
Ayelet Stewart is an artist from Stratford, PEI, who makes her own line of jewelry. But she has joined RadNet to help with the project in Israel.
I thought, wow, how unique for the island. An opportunity to work with Hebrew in P.E.I. is pretty rare. So I immediately made contact with the company and said I'm interested.
My name is Dave Perry. I'm Director of Software Development with RadNet. So what we have here in Summerside is a software development site that houses a team, and we develop software that's used in radiology in hospitals and in private healthcare facilities. Well, in the past, we had many customers in our previous chapter of our lives, if you will. We had many customers all over the world. In our current organization with RadNet, most of our installations, most of our systems are in the U.S. And recently, we started to expand the business into the international markets. And our first large installation now is moving forward in Israel.
Request status. There are many options of translation into Hebrew. The one that's correct for the application is status bakasha, but at first I didn't know, what the context is, so the translation was different. My background is art, and so that was a really big challenge. I had to learn a whole new vocabulary. I didn't know anything about the terminology, and I had to learn it in Hebrew and English.
We didn't have anybody in our site that was of Hebrew-speaking descent, if you will. We also had the time zone differences, the travel aspect of it, because in the early days we needed to be able to travel to their sites to work with the key individuals.
This is a radiology application, so you would be looking for patient's name, and I'll put one in Hebrew. For instance, Tali.
Hebrew is a language. One of the key things is that it's a right-to-left language. So we needed to do some engineering, architectural work to our application. We knew how to do it. It wasn't an issue of how to do it. It was just an issue of manpower, time, and focus to be able to get it done, to be able to enable the application to support the Hebrew language or any other right-to-left language. So we went through an exercise for about 6 months.
But everything else has been changed from right to left. So, for instance, in Israel, the dates are day, month, year, whereas in English it's month, day, year. So that's been adjusted.
So Hebrew happened to be one of the more challenging ones, and it happened to be the one that we took on first.
Lekabel metupal.
Former schoolmate of mine was working at one time with the Newcomers Association here in PEI, and I reached out to her and just kind of threw the question out, do you know anybody who lives in PEI who speaks, reads, and writes Hebrew? Eventually, as it got through the trail, I got a few resumes, and I was very, very pleased to be able to find somebody here in PEI who was able to quickly come up to speed on the application. The combination of speaking, reading, writing Hebrew, and having a radiology background is very difficult to find.
So we write from right to left. That was a big adjustment for everybody. I just tell the computer to go right to left. Some computing challenges. I wasn't very knowledgeable on computers. Basically, I had to take photographs and send them to, or write invoices. That was pretty much my repertoire. Now I'm a little more, I have a little more diversity in what I can do on computers. So it was very interesting. I mean, challenges are good. And then this says start exam, hatchel b'dika. So we start the exam. And then if something happens, it needs to be suspended. Hashhaya. And then once you can continue, להמשיך.
There was a lot of head scratching, a lot of late nights. That's just part of the business. But once our business, decided that it was going to make the investment, and we had gone through the process of finding a good partner, local partner company in Israel that would work with us, really at that point there was no looking back.
And once the exam has been completed, בדיקה הושלמה.
The planned go live for the first installation of our application in Hebrew is actually early October of this year. So we're only a couple of months away. We're tweaking some of the verbiage as we get feedback from the client, but it's actually installed in their test environment in Israel today.
We are hoping to get other contracts in Israel, which means that I probably have more work to do here. I mean, there are always tweaks and there are always new words that have to be changed over. Probably what I'll be doing after this is QA, which is quality assurance, going through the application, making sure everything is working correctly in Hebrew, because I'm probably the only person in the office that can tell if there is an issue with Hebrew. And there are always little things that pop up.
What kind of markets does this open up for you, this ability to do a language from right to left?
Arabic is a market, or a series of markets that it opens up, right to left, and having the application being able to support any other language other than English essentially opens it up to the world.
The radiologist would probably be recording a report.
For David Perry, it is especially sweet that he and his team of developers have been able to evolve their software to sell to a world market while staying here in Summerside.
The question has always been, why P.E.I.? In the early days, I have to say that I used to always feel apologetic or feel as though I needed to justify things. Now I don't. Now I always say the same thing when anybody asks me. I say, well, why not P.E.I.? We can do it here. And I think we're just proving it over and over again. P.E.I. is a place where we enjoy many things, one of which is continuity of the workforce. A lot of people don't emphasize that as much as they should, and I know many people in other parts of the world who struggle with continuity of their people, retaining the people that they need, and we're able to enjoy that by offering folks a good experience, a good challenge, and a good place to live. It's
very surprising. Whenever I tell anyone that this is what I'm doing, they're always so surprised that it's in P.E.I. and in Summerside. P.E.I. has these little surprises. You just got to find them, I guess. לקבל מטופל.
For Island Morning, I'm Nancy Russell in Summerside.
בדיקה הושלמה.